All right, let's jump right in. For what feels like forever, the whole point of software automation was simple. Go faster. Just faster. But, a huge wave of some pretty high-profile attacks is forcing a total change in that philosophy. So today, we're going to explore why the future of CI/CD isn't really about speed anymore. It's about being secure by default. So here's a tough question for you. What if that very tool that makes you so productive is also your single biggest security risk? It's something we have to ask because the CI/CD pipelines we've all come to rely on, well, they've basically become the front door for attackers. They figured out that these automated systems are the command center for all our most valuable stuff. And this is the dream, right? This is what we all signed up for, a super simple, really powerful workflow. You write some code, you push it, and poof, the magic of automation handles literally everything else. It's been the engine driving modern software for, the last decade? But that dream has kind of slammed into a very harsh reality. See, the trust we just automatically put into this whole process, it's been turned into a weapon. So let's look at how this trusted tool is now being used against us, because this really is a critical turning point for the whole industry. And look, these aren't just one-off incidents. We're seeing a really clear and frankly pretty alarming pattern here. It starts with attackers getting ready late last year, then we discovered the big TJ Actions compromise, and now we're seeing even more of these things pop up. It shows that attackers are methodically working their way through the entire automation ecosystem. And the scale is just mind-blowing. A single compromised tool affected over 23,000 repositories. Just let that sink in for a second. One incident showed just how fast a poisoned little piece of code can spread through the supply chain, exposing secrets left and right across thousands and thousands of projects. So this is the key takeaway. For years, we were all focused on protecting the code, but the attackers, they've moved on. They figured out the real prize isn't the code, it's the pipeline itself. That's what has all the keys to the kingdom. Deployment credentials, API tokens, you name it. They don't want to break into the vault. They want the automation to just open it for them. So in response to all this, we're seeing a huge philosophical shift from the big players. GitHub's 2026 security roadmap, for example, isn't just some small update. No, it's basically a declaration that security is no longer an optional feature. It's the new default setting. And this slide really nails the change in thinking. The old way was all about going fast. We'd use these changeable tags like V1 because it was easy, and we just kind of trusted that the tools we were using were safe. The new way, what we're calling locked CI, is all about being deterministic. That means pinning our tools to an exact, unchangeable version, a unique fingerprint, so we know exactly what code is running in our pipeline every single time. Trust is no longer implied, it's explicit. Okay, so how do we actually build this new lockdown system? Well, it really boils down to three core principles. Think of them as the three new rules of the game for secure automation. Let's break them down. So rule number one is dependency locking. This just means using those full, unique version fingerprints we just talked about. Now, this might sound like a little extra work, but here's the mind shift. This isn't about slowing you down. Think of it as trust accounting. It creates a permanent, auditable record of exactly what you said was okay to run. It makes your automation totally explainable. Second, we have to totally evolve how we think about secrets. The old rule was minimum privilege. Only give a key the permissions it needs. And that's still super important, but it's not enough anymore. The new rule is minimum inheritance. See, the real problem today isn't just what a secret can do, but where it can go. We've got to stop these secrets from being passed around so easily. And the third pillar is runner observability. We used to think of these CI/CD runners as temporary, disposable things, so we didn't really watch them. That was a huge mistake. These runners are handling our most sensitive credentials. We need to treat them with the same level of security as our actual production servers. It's kind of like having security software on your laptop, but made specifically to watch over your pipeline. Okay, so that's the new philosophy. But theory's one thing, right? Let's get practical. Here are three things you can do, this week, to immediately start locking down your pipelines. First, start your trust accounting today. Go through your workflows and pin all your third-party actions to their full, unchangeable versions. No more of those vague, floating tags. Second, practice that minimum inheritance idea. Change the default permissions for your main token to be read-only. Only give it write access when and where you absolutely have to. And third, build some firewalls. Keep your big, powerful deployment and publishing secrets totally separate from the everyday keys used for just running tests.
So here's the big thing to take away from all this. The game has changed. For years, we measured our automation by how fast it ran. But in this new world of supply chain threats, the true measure of quality is explainability. Can you prove exactly what ran, who ran it, and what it had access to? That's the question that's going to define the next generation of CI/CD, and it's a question we all need to start asking.